Hey, what's up, you guys? Today we have another post from the Neville subreddit, and this one is an interesting success story called How My Life Changed with Neville, SP Job Money Success Story. Written by Fanny Nas, and here it is. I've lurked on these forums since the dawn of time, and selectively read threads that contain knowledge and success stories, particularly from Orion and R. Cragwell. So those are like users on the Reddit forum. And at a certain point, as part of my mental diet, I decided to get off this thread and dedicate to practicing Neville's techniques. I started off as a very negative person with nothing but failed relationships and friends and a messy life. I was unemployed, lost the man of my dreams, in debt with pending lawsuits, had no friends, and was generally very depressed. I had so many issues that focusing on just one goal would not cut it for me. Instead, I went to the very end, living on the beach with my partner, feeling financially secure, and telling my friends how happy I was. SATS was hard, I won't lie, but I imagined throughout the day. I wrote daily manifestations. I tested the law every single day. But what really caused the breakthrough with me was my mental diet. I spent almost a year training my brain to entertain the thoughts that I wanted and to stop running on autopilot. That is crucial right there. I got knocked out, gave up, but would get right back up and experimented with different ways that would help build my belief muscle and deliberate focus. The turnaround in my life was miraculous. For a good 6 months, it seemed like nothing was happening. I would manifest small stuff here and there, but the big ones weren't coming. In fact, at times, things seemed to get worse. First, it started with the jobs. Out of nowhere, my dream jobs poured into my lap. There were some jobs that I didn't even apply for, but somehow the right people found me. At one point, there was 5 companies fighting for me, and I used that as leverage to get my dream salary, which I didn't think was possible. The company I ended up picking offered me free housing on a beach. Then came the opportunities to grow creatively. People that I admired and idolized started to take notice of me and invited me to collaborate with them. I kept being told how I was an inspirational figure, something I intended for, and how talented I was. These projects allowed me the residual income and fulfilled me creatively. Incredible people and friendships started blossoming in my life. Every time I found myself in a pickle, I used my imagination plus mental diet and got myself out of some really hairy situations, including legal problems. Lastly came the SP. I finally got to the point where I turned my life around so drastically by the virtue of my thoughts and imagination that I came to a place of complete faith. The law cannot just work for jobs, money, housing, friends, etc., and not work for an SP, I thought. Well, it's just as inevitable at this point. I know he loves me. I know he wants me. It's just timing, and I'm going to go and enjoy my life because I'll never be young again. So I got busy enjoying my new life, and it finally happened. I'll never forget that moment. After 8 months of no communication, receiving a text from him. Long story short, last night he told me he loved me. After a lifetime of failed relationships that never really took off, I am now in a relationship where my feelings are reciprocated, where there's mutual love and respect and a shared vision of our future. I told myself I would only post if and only if I could achieve my goals through using Neville. So, here it is. I sometimes can't believe how many of you know of Neville and still don't recognize your power. There is nothing, and I mean nothing, that is outside of your realm of possibility. If I can come from almost committing suicide to getting the life of my dreams, you can do it too. Happy to help you guys in any way I can. Feel free to send me a message. You got this. That post is awesome. I can just feel the energy coming through it, and I really love the story of how sequentially all those things came to pass for this person. So somebody asked, I think it's amazing. Congratulations. Do you have any advice on mental diets? Yes, what I did was I made it into a game. I told myself that I would be on this diet for 3 months. On the first day, I started with 15 minutes. So for 15 minutes, I monitored my thoughts. And anytime any negative thought entered into my mind, I imagined an eraser rubbing it out. And then I would replace it with the opposite positive thought. Second day, I did it for 30 minutes. Third day for an hour, etc. I don't know how you could keep scaling that up though. I wasn't working, so it helped that I had all this free time to do it. Okay. But we are generally always conscious of our thoughts. And if we aren't, our feelings are a good gauge to tell us what we are thinking. I would always ask myself, what am I thinking right now? How does it make me feel? What's a better thought to have that would serve me? I became my own therapist and I talked to myself all the time. As time went on, positive thoughts started overtaking, and I experienced detachment in the sense that I knew that everything would be okay. Whether or not I had my desires, but I also felt they were inevitable. Neville says that desires come from God, and God would not want me to have all these desires if there wasn't a way for it to be expressed. I just had to get my analytical mind out of the way. Hope this helps. So somebody else asked, how long did it take for you to actually start believing these positive thoughts that you'd been sowing from this mental diet? And they said, I can't put a time limit on it because it was so gradual. So I can't tell you that after 3 weeks of doing this, I was a different person. As I said, for the longest time, I saw no changes, either in myself or the outside world. But things were taking place behind the scenes. New neural pathways were being formed in my brain, step by step. I hate talking about time because it comes from a place of impatience. I didn't do any of these things to get my goal, although it would have been a nice bonus. I did all this work because I was in so much pain, and my options were to either take my life or make changes. I turned my imagination as a way to cope with my circumstances. I went on a mental diet because I was tired of being miserable. The SP, job, money, all came as a bonus because I laid out a solid foundation. Anyways, guys, that's it for this post. And let me know what you guys think about this one in the comments below. And drop me with a like, hit me with that comment, and hit me, if you haven't already, with a subscribe. And I will see you guys very, very soon.